Welcome back to Making Me Watch Movies. The movie you're making me watch today is brought to us by none other than the ambassador to Hollywood himself, Mel Gibbs, in his 2025 epic Flight Risk. I got a haiku, do you?
My haiku's no bueno, so you go.
You don't got a good coup?
Nah.
Jake,
I got a coup.
coup it up.
All right. Here we go. Feels like I've seen it. A villain, a cop, a hit. What a piece of shit.
What?
That was my
What was
coup.
the last word of the second line?
A hit.
Okay.
So I'm guessing you didn't like this movie based on your haiku.
That was great.
All right. Gibson strikes again. Marky Mark, 10 out of 10. Chaos till the end.
That's good. That was
That was a pretty good one.
This movie.
I don't know if I fully agree with it, but
I don't disagree with it, but I agree. I don't fully agree with it.
I mean, this was no Con Air. I'll just say that.
I would say this is Con Air mixed with a little
Dog shit.
Mixed
Little
with a
pile of
little
dog
like
shit.
Hannah. Like I'm like
Hannah Montana.
Marky Mark is the modern day Hannibal Lecter in this movie. He's amazing.
Marky
I've
Mark's
never
a
said Mark.
borderline
This may be Marky
rapist.
Mark's best role. He's fully he's a bad guy. He's a bad
He's
man.
a terrible person.
He's
not
bad
good
man,
in
but he
this
was great.
movie.
I think this is his best role where he's not just playing a funny dude. Even
I think
though
probably, like,
I laughed a
okay,
lot of the
maybe-
shit he said.
Okay, with the that's an argument with the comedy part, sure. But there's a lot of other movies that are still better, like Boogie Nights, one of his first career, one of his first, like he's not. That's
I've
not a
never seen
comedy,
Boogie.
but he's fucked. Well,
You're saying Boogie Nights not a comedy?
no, Boogie Nights isn't a comedy.
The
I mean,
one
it's
about
like
him having a big dick, that's why he's got to do porn? That's not funny?
I mean,
It's-
there's
it's a
comedic
dark
elements
comedy
too,
in
but there was
ways,
comedic
but-
elements. Like I laughed at Flight Risk. I thought there was funny. He was
Oh,
kind of
he
funny.
made me
Flight
laugh.
Risk.
Oh,
he
yeah.
made
He was
me laugh.
definitely kind of funny.
Oh,
Him
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Topher Grace were both kind of funny in this movie.
Ah, Topher Grace. Maybe someone's not a fan of him because he's the same guy in every movie, but like some of his dialogue was the things he was saying. I was like, really? They're gonna say that? Like that was pretty wild.
Well, it's not his fault. He didn't write it, and he was the best part of this movie, and that's sad.
Are
when
you
Topher
No,
kidding me?
Marky Mark was
Yeah.
the best part of this.
Marky
movie.
Mark
sad
was amazing in
when
this movie.
Topher
Mark
Grace
Wahlberg
is
killed
the
this
best
movie.
actor in the movie. Mark
Topher
Wahlberg
Grace
was not good
is that
in this
70s
movie.
show every day of his life. I think that's how he acts
I'm not
on, regular,
defending
on his
Topher
regular
Grace.
like off days. I think he's
I'm
at
just
home
saying
talking
he's
to
the
his
best.
kids like that. Hey, well, let me tell you this, and then this, and then here's a
Probably.
joke. Ooh, he's like a retarded Deadpool.
I'm in agreement. Topher Grace sucks, but he was the best part of this movie. 'cause
No, Marky
everyone
Mark.
else sucked more.
Not only did Marky Mark not suck, it was good. He was great. He was great.
Yeah, I think his character was pretty fun. Like it was
On
something I
point.
enjoyed watching. I think he
Believable.
took it to the Daniel Day-Lewis level of being a scumbag,
my
which was
God.
pretty
Glorious.
great.
No way.
He was
Pretty-
glorious.
I mean,
I'm telling
the
you,
fact
he's a
it's
modern day Hannibal
Sure,
Lecter.
he was.
The fact that he shaved his head just gives him brownie points because
amazing.
I mean it looked so
Totally
dumb,
believable.
but it was hilarious.
He wasn't even good at being like a
The
psychopath.
double
He was like
bald,
a
like-
psychopath scumbag.
I love
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bald patch.
He was good. He was the dialogue was not good and the situation was not good because it was so
What are you talking about? It was in an
dramatic,
Like, the
airplane.
script wasn't
He
good.
pulled
the
it
movie
off.
Wasn't
He-
good.
It was
did a good
claustrophobic.
job.
I felt like I was
Direction
watching
wasn't good.
I felt like I was watching an action Safdie movie.
Don't
Oh my
even
God.
say those
No
words.
way. Not even close.
Directed by
Listen.
Mel Gibson, guys.
Listen,
Some
Gibson.
respect.
Shocking. I know Mel Gibson's usually a good director. This is
Have some
easily
respect.
his worst movie that he's directed.
Mel Gibson has made some
Easily.
fucking classics, and I see where the movie for what it is, the fact that it takes place on a plane, he definitely did that well. Like it had a story up until the point where she'd remember she has a phone, which was the dumbest thing I've seen in a movie, probably maybe ever. But up until then, it had me like I was like, damn, all right, this is engaging. And then as soon as it was
Yeah.
like, well, now you have a phone and you're still keeping that guy alive, this movie makes no sense anymore. As soon as you have a phone, you shoot that guy.
She
in the
had
head.
morals.
This
Yeah,
part hit.
that doesn't mean that
She
that's
has
a good
morals. She's
story.
not going to kill. She's not Batman. She's not a vigilante. She is
Batman
an
doesn't
officer
kill
of the
people
law.
either. Batman's would be harsh. Batman refuses to kill people.
Well, she's Batman. She's a modern day Batman. This
Oh,
this is Batman versus Hannibal. This is a good fight.
Listen, this movie's entertaining, but I knew what it was going in.
And I think they
And-
really shot an a real airplane. They were in the
Well,
sky.
it was on. It was on.
I don't.
It was
You don't think so?
whatchamacallit. It was the
Alright.
screens.
I'm
What are they
pretty
called?
sure.
It was volume stage. It was volumetric stages.
How did they get those in the sky?
It was on a volume stage. He talks
was
about that in the interview
Pretty
you guys
bad
didn't
special
watch.
effects.
No, they had them. It was a volume, but they were on like one of those roller coaster things, which is
Yeah.
cool. It's the most believable way to do it, other than fly.
It's the only
But
way.
look, I thought it looked-
I'll give you this. Look, there were some parts of this
It was
movie
so
where the
bad.
special
What?
effects were terrible, like the beginning
Yeah.
and
It's
some
hard
other
to
things.
do
But
animals. You gotta give.
but this is the thing. The actual flying through the air when they're
Hard to do
inside,
animals.
I think looked
Terrifying.
fine. Looked fine.
There was like
Scary.
a couple weird
Great
like
action
exterior shots that
Yeah.
like looked like they were like AI. There was that like the opening shot with the exterior of the dude's motel looked fake. And then there was like another one there was like a wide of them getting onto the plane. You could like see them walking
So
and it
they
looked
use
like
a
it was
little
like
CG.
AI.
Who
It
cares?
looked like it just looked awful. And then even like there was like a like there was like blood on Mark Wahlberg that looked like it was just added in like post. Like just so many little things I
You don't like the
noticed.
color of blood?
Now when it looks fake,
Why
like
would
that
they
it's not
fake
even
blood?
there. I don't know. I wouldn't, but it looked fake to me, and it looked like it was just added in post.
I don't know, man. I think you're just drinking a bunch of haterade. I don't know what. You've never been a Gibson fan though.
I like Dragged Me Across Concrete.
Yeah, but he didn't direct that.
I know you're right. I've
He's just
never
in
been.
there. Have you? Speaking of Gibson, have you seen that? Did we do a Gibson draft?
Yeah, we did recently.
Have you seen that one where he's like a talk show host?
No, the podcast host.
Oh yeah, like a radio host.
No, he's a
host, right?
radio host, and
Podcast
he
didn't
has a
exist then.
podcast. No, he has a podcaster on, or like a YouTuber on.
And it ends with him being like it all being fake, and it was all like a big ruse. It was terrible.
What women want.
Spoiler.
Terrible movie. When that happened, I almost cried with how mad I was. I wanted to punch something.
I don't
Dumbest
think I've
ending
seen this.
ever.
I don't know what movie is this. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Terrible movie.
Well,
Sounds kind of familiar.
I'm not
but
going
I
to
don't know.
add to the spoils, but I will agree
Spoiler
with
City,
you
baby.
that the end of that movie had me angry.
Yeah, me too.
And neither of
I
you
was like,
remember
what?
what this movie's called.
I
Or you're just gonna
think
talk about a mystery movie.
this movie is called On the Air,
I think it's on air or on the air.
On
yeah.
Air,
Okay.
No.
or Off Air.
Either way, it was to do.
Oh, is it pretty recent?
Yeah, it's
Recent,
like 2023, 2024.
I think this is where Mel Gibson's head's at, though. Right now, I'm not sure what drugs he's taken or what, but I mean, you've seen him in interviews recently. He's a little loopy.
On the line.
Well, he's an old man.
He's a little loopy, but I think he's an old man that got some new drugs,
Maybe.
which
Maybe
enabled
he's a-
him to make a masterpiece, 2024, starring Topher Grace and Downton Abbey.
2025, actually, one of the first movies of 2025.
Best
25
movie of
release.
2025 so far. I'm just gonna lay that down.
See, I've only seen two, and I think the other one was better, and the other one was also bad.
What was the other one?
Presence,
And on a scale of 1 to 7,
1 to 7.
sure.
Presence would be like I don't know, like a 2.5, and this would be like a 2 on a scale of
Damn.
7.
Pretty damn low.
On a scale of 7, though, that's just a weird way to scale, but I'll go with that.
Hey, you did it. Listen,
Yeah,
this movie was
you-
amazing. This movie was probably second to Braveheart, and then the rest of his movies down. But should we get into it?
Apocalypto is his best movie.
Are we gonna rank? I've never actually seen Apocalypto.
Should we rank
Best movie, hands down.
Should we rank the directings?
Yeah,
Not if he's never
of
seen
what,
Apocalypto.
Of what we've seen, I can rank.
you
You've
guys
never
ever
seen
seen-
Apocalypto?
I don't think I have. No, I don't believe I have.
Have you guys ever seen Man Without a Face, his first movie?
Yeah,
That was pretty good.
yeah.
Or
so
not too well, but
I don't remember it very well either, but I
Um,
remember it being a thing.
I go Braveheart, then Apocalypto, but those are pretty close. Passion, then what else?
Honestly, I think Hacksaw Ridge might be. His
Oh,
best
Hacksaw
working work.
Ridge. I forgot. about
Hacksaw
that.
Ridge is like a very good movie.
Maybe Hacksaw Ridge number 2.
Braveheart. I haven't seen Braveheart in a long time, but I do remember being very good.
Yo, Braveheart
It's
is
harder to rank
it's
because it's
just
been such a long time, so it's probably better.
it's an international classic.
I mean, it's a pretty well made movie, especially by someone who never really made anything of that caliber before. And the fact that he acted in it too is pretty insane.
And I think Man Without a Face was good. Passion of the Christ. I don't know how do you feel about the Passion.
I mean, it's a fucking
It's a
well
great
made
movie.
movie, whether
great
you
movie.
want to believe it or watch it.
Not a
or
fan of the
be a
story.
fan of it, but like it's a well made film.
Well,
I don't like how it ended.
Bit much.
Well, get ready for the sequel.
Spoiler: Jesus was fucking murked.
Yeah, it is pretty much torture porn.
Do you think they're gonna start the resurrection with like that Backstreet Boy song, like "Oh my God, he's back again"?
If I know Mel Gibson, I would say
yes,
absolutely.
who's back? Back again.
Oh yeah, it could be Eminem.
Oh my god.
Either gonna be Eminem or Backstreet Boys. It's gotta be.
Maybe it'll be a remix of both those songs.
Oh, we can only hope.
Yeah, Stowe on it.
Right.
I don't think this movie is close to any movie he's made as far as being a good movie. But like listening to him talk today in the interview that you guys didn't watch, which you should have because it's very informative. He talked about how he took this movie as a challenge because he had never made a movie in 22 days before with this low of a budget, with that like high of a concept. And he was like, well, if I could do this, like it'd be kind of a fun exercise. And he said he's at a point in his life to where he's like, what's the worst that could happen? I could fail or I can not fail. And he's like, and I think it was a pretty fun movie. He's like, he's even said, he's like, I wasn't making fucking Braveheart 2. I was making a fucking genre movie in an airplane.
You should have made Braveheart 2 instead.
Great. And I think he
Yeah.
nailed it.
Yeah.
What was the budget?
That I don't know. It's probably pretty low though. I bet you Marky Mark accounted for like half of it.
I mean, I guess that explains it that it was like a rush job. And
No, what do you mean
I don't
rushed?
think
It was
just kind of
a
experimenting
lot of
with-
movies. A lot of movies have to shoot. What the point of it nowadays? Movies have to shoot with less money, less time, and you have to make something good out of it. So nothing was rushed about it.
26
explains
million.
those CGI
26
wide
million.
establishing shots.
26 million is a pretty good budge.
That's a pretty good budget. This movie
pretty
should
good
be
budge, dude.
better looking for 26 million.
What are you talking about? It was great.
yeah.
They made a whole fucking stage for it. They had an airplane on a roller coaster.
I don't know. Now that I know it's 26
had a Marky Mark.
I don't know if
How much
I
did Mark
think
Wahlberg
this is a
make?
good
26
movie anymore.
million, 22 days, dude.
Mm.
You could either have it fast, cheap, or good. You can't.
You know what
can't
I would
have-
like to
It
know?
wasn't very good.
You know how much I would like to know is how much Mel Gibson got paid, how much Marky Mark got paid. Then we could figure this out better. And if I had to guess, I'd say Marky Mark got 10 and Gibson got like 5.
You think Gibson got less? You don't think Gibson got fucking bang for this?
No, because Marky Mark's the actor. He's the face of it. So I think he got 10.
I don't
This
know.
is the thing.
This
I don't
movie
think
was
this movie-
directed by
10 for that.
I
by
don't
the
think this movie gets
world-famous
greenlit.
director.
I don't think this movie gets greenlit without Marky Mark. I just don't. You have to have a face to sell the movie. That's number one. That's why movies have actors to sell them.
But this movie, the ad campaign was equal parts Marky Mark to Mel Gibson.
This is the thing, though. In the movie, they never say in the trailer, they never say Mel Gibson. They say from the director of. They never use Mel Gibson's name. So some people might not know he directed Braveheart.
It's a controversial name right now.
I think that
You think that was
Marky
a?
Mark.
You think that was a? And it probably obviously is a. Was a thought that was a choice they made not to use his name.
yes, I think Mel
Probably.
rubs some people the wrong way because of his past discrepancies. His
What the
past-
whole Jew hating thing?
and the fact that like he says
even
a lot of
hopping
shitty
in,
stuff.
hopping in battle with Trump is like fucking is gonna make people not like him. Honestly,
He's gonna make
Well,
Hollywood
that-
great again.
he is, but Hollywood's so stupid right now. They're gonna not go to a movie with Mark Wahlberg's name on it just because. I mean, not Mark Wahlberg, Mel Gibson's name on it just because they don't like Mel Gibson. These woke
Yeah, I
liberals.
think putting a director that's so divisive, it would almost like be putting like Oliver Stone on a movie now because like he's directed so many like documentaries that have to do with like communism and
I
anti-Americanism.
think he's more
that
marketable
is
than
the thing.
Gibson. But I don't know. I mean, there's a good mix. There's a good mix of probably Gibson lovers and haters.
This is the thing, man. As an actor, Mel Gibson is the man. You know what I mean? I love him as that. As a person,
director.
as a director too, yeah. As a person, I can separate like liking someone even though if they're not the best person, which I don't know if that's right or wrong, good or bad, but like I'm not saying he's a good guy. I'm just saying he's
You
made
can
some
separate
great
the art
movies.
from the artist. You know, I could still listen to Diddy.
I mean, I have listened to Diddy, but not really, I
I
guess.
definitely listen to a lot of Michael Jackson, so
Yes, you do.
is what it
You know,
is.
Michael Jackson's innocent.
Shafir, Mari Shafir, fucking Michael Jackson. You got to rape. I was like, oh my god, that was hilarious, but terrible. He's talking about how like when you meet really famous artists, how they're not normal and they're like just so much more like in their head than we are, and like they're insane. And basically saying that like he's fakingly justifying why people like justifying stupid behavior. Like that whole thing was, look at the bright side of it.
I'm really glad you're kind of retelling.
Did you
a
not
comedian's
see
joke.
Did you not see the special? Did you forget what he said? Do you not remember?
Which his new special?
Yeah. It
No,
was the
I
Michael
haven't,
Jackson
I
thing.
haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. I thought you saw it. Okay. Then I thought you had all the context. My bad. I thought you knew exactly what I was talking about. That's why I said it like that. I didn't know.
I know
thought
who
you
Ari
told me to
Shaffir
watch
is.
that.
I have not
I thought
seen
you
it.
told me to watch that the other day. You were like,
I
"Watch this
did.
fucking-"
And don't you
Oh.
forget who put you onto that.
Okay. I thought
Hey,
Anthony, you have
We'll be
got
right
to
back.
watch that special. It is fucking
You guys watch.
hilarious.
Keep it right here.
Are you guys
It's
Are you guys
hilarious.
watching the? I will. I'm going to watch it. I
It's
love Ari
hilarious.
Shafiro. I'll watch
Yeah.
everything.
It's great.
Are you watching the Dr. Phil shit?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. It's
Dr.
I've seen
Phil
I've,
shit?
se- I've
What's
seen it a
that?
couple times.
it's the funniest. Oh, you seen it live?
Yeah.
What is it?
Adam
It's Adam
Ray
Ray
is-
doing
yeah.
Dr. Phil. Oh, it's the best.
It's really funny. YouTube it. Look it up.
I mean,
Don't
I've
check it
seen
out.
him
Don't be
do
an
Dr. Phil, but I didn't know there was like a new
Oh,
thing.
he
I've
he
seen
do,
him
he
do it.
fills arenas
It's like
and
a,
does
yeah,
Dr.
basically
Phil.
it's like a series now of him like just doing like little sit down mini shows with like comedians, variety shit.
That's
All that
so
stuff's-
good.
It's great.
He's
Cool.
so
Check it
fucking
out.
funny. He's the funniest. He's one of the funniest comedians alive, right?
I have
his,
never.
It's great.
his impressions are off the chain.
Yeah, he's pretty
And
good as
he
Dr.
pulls them
Phil.
out of nowhere.
All right, well, getting back to this classic, let's
Are we
talk about it,
recording?
Anthony.
Oh fuck.
What-
Flight
Be
tell
right
us
Risk.
back.
about this
And we're
movie.
gonna keep it right here.
What do you want to
Tell us
know?
about this. Well, I want to know what it's about. from
Best
beginning
best
to
movie of
end.
the year. First of all,
so
So
far.
refreshingly good to see Topher Grace. I don't remember the last time I've seen him. Big
Topher gets
fan.
around from time to time. You see,
What was his last
I
thing?
don't know. He's pretty forgettable. I'm sorry
Fucking
about
Ocean's
that.
11.
He was probably in the reboot of his old show. I bet you he was in that.
Probably.
Show? I don't think
He
he
was
was.
probably in that 90s
The
show.
90s show.
That 90s
Yeah.
show.
That 90s show on Netflix. I
I'm not
think
saying he's
he
a regular,
was.
but I'm saying he's been in at least 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So he is a felon, or what is he? He's like a mob lawyer.
He's a numbers guy. He's a guy
Yeah.
who crunched
Yeah,
the
he's
numbers
like-
for
yeah,
a mafia
he's-
boss.
He knows
and he ended up
things.
stealing
Count.
money from the mafia boss.
Basically, he knows things about
Black
a mafia
Klansman.
guy.
That he was in that. Sorry, go ahead.
Black
God, you're
Klansman.
ruining
He was
the
good in Black Klansman.
interruptions.
Sorry, go on.
Who are we talking about?
Topher.
Oh yeah, great. Was
He's
he a
the
racist?
numbers guy.
Numbers guy for the mob.
Numbers
Stole
guy for
money.
the mob. He is
He's in
hiding
hiding.
out in Alaska and in some kind of fucking in a CG hotel, according to Jake. And he is captured. I mean, basically, just it doesn't really give you much context other than we see him in a motel in the middle of Alaska, kind of chilling, kind of doing his own thing. Like nowhere in his mind does he think he's about to get raided. Hears some noise outside, looks outside, sees a moose, totally believable.
God,
And then
I saw that and I was like, what the fuck? It just looks like
I
playing
laughed out
GoldenEye.
loud.
went, Schwartz.
I thought I was playing
Yeah,
GoldenEye, dude.
That cost him $2 fucking million. Animals are hard to do, according to Anthony.
You can't get a moose. You know what? How unruly a moose is?
I'm not saying get a real moose. Just get
You know
a
how much a
fucking
fucking how much
I'll
a,
do
you
it
know how
for
much a moose trainer costs? And just
Not
you,
a-
you gotta
let me
fly
ask
him
your
out, you gotta
mother.
fly him out to Alaska.
You gonna get a moose trainer and a moose? What if
That's
the moose
another
trainer's
fucking
got
$4
an
million right
assistant?
there.
Dude,
What's the
$10 million.
plural? What's the plural of moose? Is it mooses or meeses?
It's just
Mice?
moose.
Moose.
Just one moose, many moose.
Look
like
at all those
deer.
moose.
Moosin.
Moose deer situation.
Moose is a deer. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
Mustafa is Simba's dad.
Let's focus on this one movie. Quit diverting on into Lion King.
Say it
We
again.
don't have time for that diversions.
He is he
Making
looks
soup.
outside, sees the moose. He's like, it's just the moose. Everything's gonna be fine. And he says some quippy things. And if I'm being honest, this movie is 10 out of 10 for me. But I hate Topher Grace.
Best part of the movie.
Took me a second to remember his name. I hate Topher Grace.
I'm a big
I liked
70s
him in
show
that
fan.
70s show, but like Short said, he's a one note and he plays that one note. And people think that one note, or I don't know, I guess he thinks that one note's good. What I'm thinking is, what was Mel doing this whole time
Spider-Man
when
3.
this movie was going on? But that's fine. Probably just
Did
a
you
big
think he was
smile on his
directing?
face. Yeah.
You didn't feel very directy.
You don't
Like, it
think he
almost
directed
didn't-
this movie?
It doesn't
think it just
feel
sat
like
there?
it was directed.
Is that the conspiracy? Was there a ghost director on Braveheart and Passion of the Christ or whatever else he was credited on this for?
Topher Grace probably directed it,
It's Steven
Imagine.
Spielberg. Have you ever seen Steven Spielberg and Mel Gibson in the same room at the same time?
right?
Are you saying Steven Spielberg is Mel Gibson?
Say he could be.
That
There's
there's
possibility.
actually some There's actually some stuff going on.
They're
There's
both
this
bald.
whole thing. Well, one hates something that the other one is. You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
He hates
Anthony
it because
looks
he
confused.
has a burger shop?
That's Wahlberg, you ding dong.
Well,
I'm just wondering why Steven Spielberg hates Mark Wahlberg.
I mean, specifically on the Berg.
We were talking Gibson.
Oh, yeah. I
Right.
forgot what we were talking about.
Jesus, this guy.
Mel
Sorry, we
His
got
Gibson?
fucking
Berg.
pick. You don't even know who he's talking
Once
about.
you brought up Mustafa, everything's been fucking confusing.
Mufasa.
So that you said Mustafa, retard. So she busts down the door. She's like, I got you. And she arrests Topher Grace. Then they're in Alaska. So they got to take this little tiny plane. And this is what's great is that it you know what I love is a good way to get me in a fucked up situation. Go out in the middle of nowhere where I don't have service on my cell phone. It's okay. But like we got yes.
But you forgot you had it, remember?
I didn't like that.
Ah,
But no, this is all I'm saying though, is like
To be fair, I as an audience member forgot too, so maybe it's plausible.
I
but you
like
didn't know as the audience member.
Well, you saw her phone. It was a little bit off of a regular phone. Maybe it was a satellite phone, you know?
you just knew that was it. You saw her on the
Oh,
phone.
wait.
You're like
I
sat
forgot.
phone.
Ain't no way she's got service out in that wilderness.
So she just didn't
Yeah.
even check. She just assumed she didn't have service.
She forgot about it. She literally said,
I probably don't have.
she goes, he says something about, wish we could just call my mom. And she goes, what did you
That's
say?
impossible.
She goes,
No, she goes, what did you say? Call.
Dicks
oh my
in
God,
our
how did I-
hands.
How did I not remember? And then she goes,
Dicks in our hands.
there's my fucking satellite phone in my
Oh.
pocket.
This chick
Which
the
is
worst.
just
Wah,
genius.
wah.
It's
No, it's
genius.
not. It's lazy and kind of makes me feel dumb for watching the movie.
Dude, there was a
it's-
few. There was a few of those.
It's genius.
that one for
it
sure.
keeps the tension while giving them a way out.
It makes me think she's a dum dum.
Right. It's like when
Makes
she
me think
accused
she's
the
not
one
competent.
boss of being.
She was
a
freaking
traitor,
out. I
and
mean,
then
she was
took
being
her as the
attacked
other
by
one
an
was a traitor.
assassin.
This is the thing. Keep going until we get to the part where what's his name goes
So
off.
she I'm not it's she, they're so they got to get in an airplane to go
Yeah.
to Anchorage. They're up in the middle
They're
of
taking a puddle
nowhere.
jumper
They
because
got
they
to
have
take
to
a
keep
little
it quiet.
bush plane. So they get in the plane. She loads them up. She locks Topher Grace in the back. She
Pilot's
sits up
not
front.
there. Super
Pilot's
weird. Where's
not
the
there
pilot?
yet. I don't know. I didn't think that was weird until he said like I don't usually let my. I was just thinking, all right, maybe, but none of that struck me as weird. They was just like get in the plane. He got in the pilot gets in the plane. The pilot is none other than Mark Wahlberg, Funky Bunch. He goes, "Hey, sorry I'm late. Don't think or I don't usually let people get in my plane." He's like he kind of he seems normal. I believed him. I believed every second of him. I don't know why she always seemed suspicious right off the bat, and I was just like, this guy's believable to me. No?
I mean,
Yeah,
I thought
I
he was
mean-
pretty funny. I thought he
thought
was
great.
he was pretty funny. He was charismatic.
Hey, I didn't suspect a thing until I saw the ID thing, or until I saw the trailer. But until in the movie,
Let's be real.
Yeah.
This trailer, though I think the trailer was pretty epic, it told way too much.
oh yeah.
Like
If
most.
I-
I mean, there
yeah.
wasn't much in this movie. There wasn't.
If I
much to
didn't
tell.
know he was bald, it would have been way better. It would have been
pretty epic.
would have been amazing.
I agree. That would have been awesome.
But
So
also, that did nothing for the movie or nothing.
what are you
for the
talking
plot,
about?
or
It gave
nothing
him
for the-
so much more character. He had two
Did
bald
it?
spots.
Did it though?
He had two bald spots.
Well,
I heard it
that
was
is-
his choice.
It was.
Yeah, but why?
I heard it was actor's choice. I heard he said, you know
Hmm.
what I need? Less hair.
But why? Like, what is that? Why does that help that character?
I
He
think
was-
sometimes actors want to set themselves
weird
apart than their
choice.
normal selves. Actually, crazy story. You
He
remember that
wanted
movie
to.
Lovely
He wanted
Bones?
to exactly. He wanted to
Remember
feel
Lovely
different.
Bones?
Yeah.
So Ryan Gosling was really cast in that movie over Mark Wahlberg, and he
Yeah,
came to
everyone
set.
knows.
He came to set like 40 pounds overweight, and fucking Peter Jackson was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I thought this guy would be fat," and Peter Jackson's like, "Nah, get the fuck out of here," and he fired him.
Wahlberg got his part.
And Mark Wahlberg got his part, and it was terrible. Great movie. Mark Wahlberg's a terrible actor.
That movie wasn't good.
Thought the movie was entertaining. Stanley Tucci was great.
Well, yeah, Stanley Tucci, dude. Tucci's gonna.
Yeah, but
Tooch.
he was evil Tooch. Evil
Tooch
Tooch
is
is special
Tooch.
Tooch.
Talk
Evil
about
Tooch
a
is-
transformation
When
to a
is
freak.
Tooch not gonna be good?
Evil
Oh,
Tooch
maybe
is the
that's-
best Tooch.
Maybe that's who that I heard. That's who Mark Wahlberg was trying to channel. He said he was so inspired by the Tooch in LB that he wanted to go bald and be a rapist.
I see it now.
You
He
blow
was
my
he was
mind.
real creepy. He was like saying all sorts of shit that he was gonna do to their bodies and stuff.
Every
so-
time he said
he was
something that
definitely
he
an
was gonna
artist.
like spread, he was like, "I'm gonna spread your butt cheeks and wet butter in it." I was laughing my ass off. I was in a filled theater too. I was in a filled theater.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this was this opening night though? Is that like pretty much
It
opening night?
was like opening weekend, I guess.
Yeah, so I went
And Anthony,
Monday afternoon,
that's the
so.
reason why Mark Wahlberg gets paid more than Mel Gibson, because they all went to see him say, I'll need a pilot.
Y'all need a pilot. We all laughed at that.
What he said, I mean, when he tried to give Topher Grace a titty twister, like I knew this movie was
Oh
gonna
my
be
God, that was
fucking
hilarious.
I didn't
I was
realize how
like-
comedy this was gonna be.
right.
Well,
this was-
it's not that the movie was a comedy. His
Yes,
character
Wahlberg-
was just supposed to be
I think it's a
crazy,
comedy.
you know?
I think it's.
I mean,
think it's-
Grace was always saying funny shit too. He was always doing the quippy, clever guy.
My
and
problem
the, and
was-
the Indian dude was funny.
My problem
Right.
was with Topher Grace is that his delivery and everything was it just seemed like he was reading off a piece of paper. Like he couldn't
how he
act his
acts.
way out of anything.
It seemed like he was
That's
reading
how he
off this
rolls.
piece of paper,
He's
but it also
terrible.
seemed like he made up all the lines and wrote them down and then was reading them.
That
I
could
don't
be it
think
too.
that's the case.
I
But,
think it
mean,
was. I
don't
think
maybe
that's what it
was.
sounded
that-
like.
I did hear that Wahlberg was highly improvisational, so maybe everyone just basically improv. Maybe Gibson just like we're gonna make a movie on a
your
plane.
mother. I'm gonna eat your mother's brain and fuck her skull, skinny wag. What was he calling him? He was calling him like Slender Man. What was he calling it?
Something
Called him
Twiggy.
along-
He was calling him Twiggy.
Twink.
Twiggy,
Yeah.
yeah, and he called him Winnie because it's Winston, but Twiggy.
Winston.
I think he called him. I
I
think he called him a twink a few times.
I'm gonna have to kill you, Winnie.
Well, that's the thing.
Carlisle is angry with you, Winnie.
I think the concept of this movie is pretty fun. Like if you were to tell me like that would be a fun movie. Only problem is that, like I said, once she finds her phone, you shoot the guy in the face. You don't let him live. Like he's back there causing all kinds of chaos, all kinds of ruckus, and he's dangerous. So you got to kill the guy. Like the fact that didn't happen is just like
All right.
made the movie kind of
Well,
end for me in that
I'm
moment.
gonna stop
They
back.
try
and
to
like I like
they
this
try to
movie.
explain that away
Listen.
too, because they try to explain away because she had that person die. Granted, it wasn't someone trying to kill her. It was like her witness. She had someone die on her previous mission, so I think she was
From-
trying to keep everyone alive.
From my
But
experience,
not that I think you're wrong. Go on. Sorry. Go
Yeah.
on.
from my
guess.
limited experience with a little
Hostage
program called ChatGPT, this movie is a first draft, give me an airplane movie, ChatGPT script. 100%. This was popped out of ChatGPT. Nothing was changed on it. And they ran with it and they made it. And they got Mel Gibson to direct it for some reason. Amazing.
Or put his
I
put his
heard Mel
name on
Gibson
it.
say today that him and the writer went through this and made all the funniness to it. It wasn't funny before Mel Gibson added the comedy.
There's something wrong with Mel these days. There's something
Yeah,
wrong
he-
with Mel.
Oh,
Well,
'cause I
he's
guess
always
this-
been a sicko. He's
I
a
did.
sick
I
fuck.
did see that.
man.
Saw that this script was on a thing called the Blacklist for a long time.
No, this was not.
This was
was
on-
it really?
That's what I heard on a podcast. I don't know how true that is.
I
It was
thought
on the
that's supposed to be
blacklist
for
for a
like
long
really
time.
good scripts.
Yes, exactly. They
Really
just
good
sit around
scripts
for a long
that
time.
were never made.
right.
Yes,
so
but-
he found the script and maybe it was good, but then he Gibsoned it and it was
He's
this
like,
fucking
You know what this needs? This needs a little lethal weapon style humor.
Yeah, but
he gave it a little splash of like old boomer humor and they made it whatever it is today.
this needs a
That's
once
funny.
over by the ambassador of Hollywood.
Yeah, dude. This is pretty much what happened, I think. Or they ran a really good script through Chat GPT and like make it funnier.
It
And
seemed
then
when I
that's
was
what they-
watching this, I was just like, this is the most Chat GPT movie I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and there was
Yeah.
AI graphics and it was might as well be computer.
What an unglorious ending
It was
for Marky
terrible.
Mark.
Right.
Okay,
Oh,
bye.
God.
I thought that too. He just fucking
Yeah.
falls out of the plane.
Ooh, the plane's spinning too fast. I'm out of here.
When he
Yeah.
got
And then he
hit
gets
by the
hit.
car,
Oh, I
I
laughed.
laughed so loud. I was like,
Laughed out
There was
loud for sure.
There was a few of those moments of out loud
Oh, me
laughter. I
too.
think even the moose made me laugh out loud.
yeah, I think so.
Because I
So-
think that I'm like, now I know what I'm in for. This is what it's going to be.
Before
okay.
that, he's flying the plane. Everyone's a little suspicious. She sees a little blood on him. She sees he's got a cut on his ear. None of that's ever explained. It's probably from killing the pilot, I
the
guess.
pilot, yeah. And then Topher Grace sees the pilot's ID badge under the seat on the
Topher
ground.
Grace sees the ID badge, but that doesn't fucking matter. He just
That's
sees
not
it,
his
and he
face.
never gets it across to anyone that he sees it. She just randomly figures it out all on her own for some reason. She's just like, this guy ain't no pilot. He's fucking redneck.
Yeah, she's yeah.
How did she
smart.
figure it out? Because he tried to tell her, and she was like, "Nah, shut up." She was like the woman in Temple of Doom. She was like she just kind of was reactionary, and she had nothing. She was not even.
Just yeah.
She solved no problems, and she served no purpose
Yeah.
Well,
other than landing the plane at the end.
The very end, she pretty much saved the day. In the very end,
And there was a
She
whole
definitely
B
saved
plot
At the
with,
very,
like,
very
her-
end, when
her-
she
shoots the guy. Yeah,
Okay,
which
no,
was
that-
insane.
I think the Indian.
this movie
guy
was
saved the day.
ChatGPT'd, and then they were like, "All right, sick, but make the ending, give us a little cliffhanger ending at the end there." And ChatGPT was like, "No problem, Tony Bag of Donuts. How about this? Crazy guy, fucking Albanian, walks up out of nowhere dressed as a paramedic, jumps on the whole ambulance, shuts the door,
Suspiciously staring at her the whole time.
The fact that he was
super
on the
suspiciously
phone
staring at her.
with the guy who was hiring him to do it. He's like, "Did you do it?"
Oh
That
my
made
God,
me
on the
laugh
phone.
out
Hey,
loud.
and he's like, and
That
then
made
she's
me
like,
laugh out
"No,
loud.
I got you." And then but right before that, he's like suffocating Topher Grace, which we see in the trailer, so we knew that was going to happen eventually, and it hadn't happened yet. and then yes, she's on the phone with the guy, and that's how they catch him.
Yeah.
That's it. Movie's over.
And then it's got the whole thing of like she thinks her boss was the person who screwed her over, ends up being her boss's
Oh
boss
my
is the one who
God,
did
what
it.
was
And then she tells her
that?
boss's boss that it's her boss, and then
Yeah.
and then she, like, 3 seconds later, she's like, "Wait, it's him." Fuck. And then nothing really changes, and they still continue flying, and that none of that.
And that
really
was all
meant
just
that much.
serendipitous because he just happened to say something about fucking Schenectady or something, and then he's like, "Hey, and then you know what? Don't call them anymore. Call me directly at my office in Schenectady." And then she was like, "Oh, what?" You can see the fucking Rain Man numbers going in her head. And she's like, "I figured it out." And she called her friend, and her friend's like, dude, but yes, having the phone was the biggest bullshit, just way out, lazy fucking thing. You know what would have been cool is if she and fucking if let's rewrite this movie. Let's rewrite this movie. You know what we should do is ask ChatGPT to make this movie better. Let's rewrite this movie.
Like,
Let's go this way.
Making Wahlberg somehow, like, land the plane.
Torture him
Yeah,
until he lands the plane, and then the conflict in that, him like,
Well, he would have
trying to
enjoyed the
crash it.
torture.
Him like trying to crash it, and then like doing something to, maybe they find something on him, maybe they find his daughter, and they're like, "Oh, you know what, we got your daughter, and we're gonna fucking kill her or arrest her or whatever, and unless you land this plane." He's like, "Fine, I'll land it." Or like he grows a heart, and he's like, "Oh, you know what, Topher, I really like that 70s show. I'll land this plane." Him stabbing Topher was pretty rough, though. I like that. That was a good scene.
Right. It would
Um,
be funny if Mark Wahlberg, like, they like tortured him a bunch, and he just, like, started getting off on it, like, BDSM style. He's like, "Yeah, pinch my nipples, yeah. Pinch my nipples. I'll land the plane, yeah."
they go really slow over water, and they jump into the water.
Yeah, be cold.
Him getting hit by that car was hilarious. I laughed so loud.
That was such.
Because at first I thought he was going to
Oh,
survive.
man.
The way he
Yeah,
landed on
right.
his has he going to survive? And then he got hit by the car.
Do you think Mel Gibson
That's cars,
watching
if
it,
I'm not mistaken.
thinking, "Oh man, they're gonna think he survived this. Look, and then we're gonna freak him out one more time before the end."
I guess so.
And then the audience is gonna think that the conflict is resolved, but we're gonna have this fucking Iranian dude walk in, fucking freshly shaved head. Who knows where he got that uniform?
Well, obviously he just roughed up the other guy and changed his clothes. It's one of those classic,
Maybe his mom owns a dry
situations.
cleaning store. I don't know.
No,
Tale
you
as old as time.
pulled him into a closet, beat him up, took his clothes.
Am I right?
Yeah.
You are.
So they figure out Marky Mark's a hitman for fucking Carlisle or whoever the bad guy is. The bad guy is the guy.
Mafia guy. Yeah, he's a mafia dude.
Yeah, Garcetti. What is his name? Fucking
I think Marietti.
Margaretti.
So if Mr. Margaretti is after him, she stuns his hair off, and they shackle him up, and then he's just shackled in the back for a solid 2 hours. Actually, this movie, how long is this movie? Not that long.
It's like
86 minutes.
That's a good time for this movie. That's why I like this
I
movie.
almost thought it was going to be in real time for a second, because they're like, "We're going to land in about 90 minutes." And then I'm like, "Ooh, this is going to be a real time movie," but it wasn't really.
That would have been an interesting way to go. It was not
Yeah, it was
a real time movie.
It kind of
Well,
was.
It wasn't not exactly, but it wasn't far from it.
I mean, I watched it in real time.
It
Well,
really
you're
was.
real
It
time,
pretty
you're real
much was
time.
a real time movie actually, because they were trying to land the plane, and then they do land the plane, and then the thing happens in the end, and it's over.
What did you guys think about the guy who was helping her? Obviously, we all hate the idea that she just goes like this. Oh, I have a phone. We're fine.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
here's
terrible.
how about they all put their heads together? How about her and Topher just get smart and they figure out that if they fly toward the sun's setting over here, so we could figure out where north is, we could figure out where west is, we could get to the water, and then we could go south to Anchorage. We could figure that out.
Not just have some clever guy.
Not just have someone. She had a cell phone. She could have Googled it. She could have used chat to. They use chat to write it. She could use chat to get home.
I don't think they wanted to tip anybody off. They're like, if we can't just chat GPT the plane landing, that would be too obvious.
What if she just Googles it, Mel? No, because we just Googled this movie.
Listen, I think because the budget was 26 million, and now that I know what it was, that's a lot of money. They should have just like not had him not land the plane, because like him landing the plane and like going to some sort of like underground like handmade torture chamber or something would have been a pretty cool way to end this movie. And they totally missed the mark on that.
The fuck are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Like Mark, Mark takes them to the middle of the jungle,
to a place to kill them. And if he didn't get subdued, and he actually took them to this place, and they got out, and like it was some crazy like,
and we just watch him do
torture
what
place
he does,
and then they have to get out of there. That would have been a way cooler ending.
Oh, that's where they escape.
That would have been way cooler.
Yeah, because being in the plane the whole time was kind of lame for what it was. Would have been cool to have one more set piece.
Of Wahlberg, you know what I mean? Wahlberg was very one-dimensional and very underutilized, in my opinion.
I think he nailed it, though.
Like, listen, I think Mark Wahlberg played a good role, but this just goes to show what everybody knows, what Mel Gibson knows, what Mark Wahlberg knows, what we know. You have to have a good script to make a good movie. Doesn't mean you have to have a good script to make a movie, and a lot of movies are bad scripts and they get made. But if you want to have a good movie, you gotta have a good script. That's just, there ain't no getting around that. It's just science, dude. That's all there is.
Amen, bro.
And Mel Gibson's written some great scripts, and he did not write this script. And maybe at 70 whatever years old, he shouldn't be writing scripts anymore. But
Mel is in a place that I don't like Mel Gibson in. That's the thing.
I hope you get to talk to him about it personally.
I would love to talk to him. Mel, if you're listening and you want to come on the cast, or you just want to give me a call, we'll get in touch.
Your number's still 911? Alrighty. All right, let's rate this motherfucker.
That's it? No, you don't want to
over.
Get to
she kills the Albanian, credits roll.
Well, we haven't even gotten there really. We just get toward. She shackles him up in the back. They're figuring out now no one can fly the plane. She doesn't know how to fly a plane.
Damn, we're that far?
The famous line that it will now be a world famous line, y'all need a pilot. But she remembers that she has a satellite phone, which Schwartz, I guess, saw from the beginning.
I didn't. I actually forgot about it. That's how I feel so stupid. It's because no.
Yeah, but you knew that was a satellite phone?
No, I didn't know. I knew she had a phone, and I guess. But the fact that she's like, oh my God, it's a satellite phone. I forgot. That's the dumbest thing ever. It's like that night. Well, never mind.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah. I know what night.
The sock night.
Yeah.
That's how I felt like.
We had a goddamn satellite phone in our...
And I didn't even remember.
Yo, we made so many calls.
And then I was like, it's in my sock.
Anyway.
What a lady, what a night, baby.
What a lady, what a night. What a night. So he breaks free by stealing her sunglasses. How about number one? How about that sunglass put on? That like obvious. Do you know what I'm talking about? There was she's on the sunglasses. Time. Yeah, exactly. Out of nowhere, and to the point where I'm like, that was a weird like time and way to put on your sunglasses. And then obviously they came into play like right in that scene where she leans over, she starts to beat the shit out of him for some reason, because he's probably saying all the truth. And
I think he's talking about like her last thing, like how her backstory and shit.
The last time she was in the field, because they make a real good point to say that, she's back in the field. Thanks for putting me back in the field. I really appreciate it.
First shout back.
When she said that on her fucking sat phone in the beginning, immediately I was just like, boy, I can't wait for this plot line to come back into the story, which it did. And it was just for him to, it was just to give her trust issue. I don't even know. It was literally just, I don't know. Why did they do that? Why did they give her that backstory?
Because they had to fill time. I don't even know. Like it was to do.
I did hear a review of someone saying that this would have been a great 45-minute TV episode.
Yeah, I could see that.
It probably would, like for a TV show, for just like I don't know what.
Because
TV
like the
show.
expression bottle episodes. There's like
No.
episodes of television that take the whole episode takes place in one location.
Yeah.
It's like that's what this
That's
pretty
what
much
this is.
would have been. This is basically like a bottle movie. I don't know if that's a term or not. I just know
Bottle
bottle
movie, dude.
episode.
We should do our bottle movie draft, BMD.
That would be a thing. Yeah, they're out there.
He gets loose. She shoots him with a flare gun.
Yeah.
Ties him back up, and then he's just tied up for the rest of the movie. They eventually get to Anchorage, and she lands the plane. That's how the movie ends.
Yeah, you know, a couple times they almost crash, and then they save it, and then they
Do
almost crash
they?
again.
Do they? Oh yeah, like they have
I mean,
it on
she almost-
autopilot the
Yeah,
whole
they had it on
time.
autopilot, and
So
then
like
occasionally the mountains are too
also
high.
they have it, and I'm not a pilot, although you know, I play one on TV. I'm autopilot. Are you unable to affect the flight of the plane when it's engaged in autopilot? I gotta imagine that if you grab the controls, it has to override the autopilot, right?
You would think, but in
know.
this movie, I don't know. I got a feeling they didn't follow exact flight instructions and how.
Also, is pilot literally just a lit up switch like that? Just like, ping. All right, now the plane's flying.
None of us are pilots, unfortunately. I wish I knew. Is it that easy?
To like make a way to where they were like, well, there's only 3 people in this movie, and one of them's locked up, so we can't just have one flying the plane the whole time. So there's just, and then Mel's just like, making a switch. Fuck it, I did 4 lethal weapons.
You would know.
What a lady, what a night, all right. So they land the plane. What's going down when they're landing the plane? Is he loose at this point?
No, well, he broke his thumb and
That's right.
got out of the thing.
She's
they also are out of fuel.
They're out of fuel, so but that doesn't matter because they make it.
Yeah, but like it's rough. The landing's pretty rough.
The tension is
I
there.
feel like it was rougher than it needed to be.
That's what she said.
Like they basically had it, and then it just got out of
there
hand.
was a heavy side wind.
Oh, sure.
They're fighting wind.
Sure.
The tension was there. I did watching the movie, like in the theater, I was like, during the tense moments when he broke out of the shackle the first time, and then when they were landing the plane at the end, and he was like stabbing her. He was stabbing fucking Topher Grace.
Yeah.
That like those parts were epic, and I was like, oh shit, like what's gonna happen? Then the whole like, I'm not gonna go around. We don't have time. Topher's gonna die right here, right now. I gotta land this plane, even if I'm probably gonna crash it, which they do. She crashes the plane. The homeboy's just unmagnificently thrown from the plane and then hit by an ambulance or like a fire truck or something. Which
he
is
gets
just
thrown from the plane, lands like
survives,
fucking
like
a
rolls
guy
out
from,
of
like,
it,
Killer Instinct,
rolls out of it like he
Rolls out
fucking
of
fell
it.
on a snowboard.
and is like, holy shit, I made it, and then he gets hit by a car, which was laugh out loud. Funny.
I would love to just see him jump a fence and bye.
Bro,
like-
I would have
like,
laughed
if he just took
so
off.
hard.
Like
He's like Gollum galloping away into the cave.
That would have been pretty cool if he made
That
it.
would have been amazing. I would have loved this movie if he did get away. I would have been like, oh my god, this
like
movie's
Steve
amazing.
Buscemi at the end.
You know why?
Because
Because there would have been a sequel.
Con Air.
Right. Con Air. This is basically Con Air too.
Um,
Buscemi and Wahlberg
so
team up.
Marky Mark gets away, and everything's fine and everything's great. But like a
fine.
good a good horror movie needs a last scare. So we see who's Doc being chased by? Oh, the Libyans in Back to the Future. We see the fucking Libyan dude or whoever he
yeah.
is dressed as a paramedic get in the ambulance, and she just sniffs it out because she's basically Clarice Starling. She runs, jumps in the ambulance just as homeboy's suffocating Topher, which at this point, fuck Topher. He's been a pain in the ass this whole time. Let him go. Still kill the guy, but let him go.
At least he stopped talking so much after he got stabbed.
He did. He was dying. She shoots the guy. I mean, this is like, you know, it's like the end of Die Hard. She shoots the guy like Steve Urkel's dad, and that's it. And she goes, not today, Junior. And then it goes, directed by Mel Gibson.
Yeah. Basically, you find out that the guy who she knew was behind it
Her
is
boss,
on the
her boss.
phone with the killer, and he's like, Jerry, did you do it? And she goes, no, this isn't Jerry. He's like, Miranda?
You goddamn Mongolian, you better do it.
he's like, Miranda? She's like, yes, it's me. And she's like, you're over now. And
She's
then it's
like-
directed by Mel Gibson.
She's like, I don't know what this fucking.
You
Whatever. She had a
slimy
fucking.
succotash.
This is your last job. I hope you put the dick in Detective, directed by Mel Gibson. Oh, this movie is hot dog shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm pretty mad you made me watch this.
I was so close
Yeah.
to texting you guys right after I got out and just being like, it's not worth it, guys. This is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
You should have done that. You should take that advice and
I
definitely heed it
know.
next time.
Oh,
But
I'm
in
okay.
my head, I
Sometimes
thought,
these are fun.
fuck these guys. They need to see this movie in the
I really
theater
didn't though.
right
It really
now.
wasn't good. It really
know.
wasn't
This is
good.
this
But
year's
you did.
trap. Like we're gonna see
Yeah.
this.
Anthony
we're gonna
just
see
likes
it.
to do
It's
this
a
to
fucking
us.
Gibson movie. We're gonna see the movie.
Have
I
my
would've seen it
finger on
regardless.
the pulse of America. This is Trump's
You have your
America
finger
now.
on the pulse of
I was in a fully packed theater at 7
Marky
p.m.
Mark.
on a Friday night.
Well, actually, now
Marky
that I
Mark
see
made
that
his
has
money
like,
back in College Station, Texas. Tell you
now that I
much.
see that it has like 25% on Rotten Tomatoes, maybe I wouldn't have gone to see it so fast. But
Great movie. Terrible movie.
4.5 on IMDb.
We needed to see it. Fuck it. We haven't done a Mel Gibson one, and I don't think his movies are going to be getting any better than this.
Yeah, that's
Although now that
Maybe.
I know
I
you
mean,
haven't seen Apocalypto,
yeah. I haven't
we
seen
could just
Apocalypto.
erase this episode and do that.
No, it's okay. Maybe I could watch that on my own time.
Yeah, erase it. Fuck it.
Or we could do a
Maybe-
double whammy.
And we
Just
don't know.
erase it.
They might. We might be getting some gold coming up with like him and what if him and Voight and Stallone make a movie together?
Well, he's
So-
definitely making another Passion movie, so that's going to be a big thing.
What if
But I think
Stallone's
whatever
the new,
Jake doesn't
like,
want you to
zombie
do, you
Jesus?
do the opposite of it. So
Passion
Just delete
2.
it.
Guess who's
Passion.
back?
Gibson or no, it's Stallone as zombie Jesus.
Sundays will never be the same.
Stallone is zombie Jesus.
Sunday is not for football anymore.
Sunday's not for.
All right, let's
thing.
rate this fucking piece of shit.
Oh, 10 out of 10.
Bring out the rating.
Bring
Yep.
out your dad.
Bring out the scale.
All right, scale it up. F words.
Where's the thing?
Start
you-
doing
can you
the
screen it?
topics, bro.
There it is.
Give it to me. Acting performance.
4.
I'm gonna go 6.
Give me that acting. 6. 6 from Schwartz. You got a 4 from Jake. Giving it a solid 7. Plot.
I'm gonna have to go 2.
2.
Actually, I'm gonna agree with that too.
2.
It
Come
was-
on, there. It
was-
was terror
no.
in the skies.
All
Horror
of
on
the
an
plot
airplane.
was bad. Everything was
was-
predictable. Everything was bad.
It was Hannibal meets Get Off
Dora
My
the
Plane.
Explorer.
What are you gonna give it?
I'm giving it a 5.5. Cinematography.
2.
Yeah, I was gonna give it like a 3.
3. Solid 3 from Jake. I'm gonna give it a 6. Soundtrack. Music.
Man, I didn't even notice that. I don't know if that's good or bad.
I feel like the suspenseful parts
It's very
were
suspenseful, very
suspenseful. So I feel like the music probably helped the suspense of it.
Very suspenseful.
Okay.
But I don't think that was maybe. So I'll give that a 5, just because I don't remember very well. But I don't remember being, what, 6. I'll give it a 6. And I remember the
I'll
marketing. There was a
give
marketing song
it-
that
I'll
was
give it a
cool.
6 too.
I'll give it a 6 as well, I guess.
Yeah, baby. Hail Satan. 3 6s. Directing / editing.
5.
Yeah, I might give this 2.5.
2.5 from Jake. I'm gonna be
2.5.
honest. I'm gonna give it a 3.
It's not well done. Not well done. Sorry, editing was bad.
I mean, compared to his other work,
Yeah, maybe a couple moments of cool suspense or action, but other than that, the editing was garbage and it just wasn't well directed.
production design, visual effects. I mean, they kind of nailed
2.
it. What?
I agree with 2.
With the visual
It's a-
effects, it looked like they were in an airplane, and they weren't.
I don't think that's that impressive though.
There was
8.
other parts that were like distractingly
So
bad,
bad,
though.
yeah.
Giving it an 8.
That moose was like a 2.
Yeah.
Originality, creativity.
So this is one that I'm actually going to give a higher rating than I thought it would because it's actually a cool idea, but I just don't know. There were so many other ways you could have taken it to make it more interesting. So I'm going to go with 6.
Yeah, you can mark it another 2 for me.
Oh, right. I will give it I'll go 6. I'll give it a 6. Pacing, overall flow.
I mean, for what it was pretty
great.
quick and
Yeah.
freaking easy. So I'll
This
go
was
6.
Quick and easy.
Yeah, I agree with 6. It was fine for that. Even 6.5 for me.
Wow.
Give it a 6 point. You know what? For the sake of 6, just give it a 6.
All right.
I'll say it.
Emotional impact.
2.
Come on, guys.
I don't think I had any. I think
If you hated it,
Wa-
that's still an impact.
I didn't even hate it. It was 1. Give it a 1.
Jesus.
Did nothing for me.
That's the worst kind of movie. If you don't hate
Right.
it or love it, it's just somewhere in between. It's kind of the worst
Right.
kind of rating you can ever give a movie.
Right.
Cultural or societal relevance?
I'm gonna go a 3.
You know, if he's here to save Hollywood, I'll give him right down the middle with a 5.
Oh, you're saying that because of the director, it's more irrelevant because it's Mel Gibson.
Yeah, and then I think maybe he's trying to take it more into deep state stuff. So it's like I think there's some corruption and up top. So I think he's trying to showcase that. So did he showcase it well? No, but is it there? Did he try? Sure, 5.
All right,
Yeah, a 4 for Anthony. Cool.
and I'll give it a 4. Yeah.
Totals.
Schwartz gave it a
Wow.
4. Jake gave it a 3.3, and I have a 5.5.
Wow. So yeah,
Nice.
this is definitely probably one of the worst movies we've done.
Yeah, I think this is the lowest rated movie in my
Yeah, especially
column
in our recent
in the
averages.
history of making me watch movies.
You don't gotta be that rude about it. It's a 4.1 average
sounds- that
between all
sounds-
of us. Is
Sounds
that
about right.
what is the IMDb?
IMDb's like pretty low.
5.6 IMDb.
Well, early movies tend to have a little bit higher, and like as time goes on, they kind of like shift back to where they probably will
Oh, movieologist
But
over
I'm just
here.
No, I agree with Jake. I think that'll end up being around a 5.0 by the time it's done.
be. I bet it's gonna be like
We'll
under
see.
5. Like
We'll check
4,
it in like 4 months when we'll know.
idea. We'll do the recap episode in 4 months.
Set an alarm on your phone to check the fucking rating for Flight Risk in 4 months from today.
Poop up.
Bleep, 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 blorp. Fuck
Plugged in,
Topher
dialed
Grace.
in.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
He's the
Sucks.
best part about this movie. I stand by
Mel
that.
Gibson, you have made cinematic gold, and this was cinematic to do.
Do you think Gibson was a big
Cinematic
That 70
Brown.
Shows fan?
I don't know, man, but
What do you think he knew?
either
What do you think?
way,
What was he doing in the 70s?
Downton Abbey. So this chick was from Downton Abbey. I never saw her before either.
she was the wife in the Gentleman too, McConaughey's wife.
She
I don't
sucked.
remember that movie. She sucked.
Yeah, Downtown
Her
Abbey's
acting was
not a cool
bad.
place
And the
either
character
way.
was bad.
Bad writing, bad acting, great director.
Bad mooses.
Overall review, bad. Bad
Bad
CGI
moose.
moves for sure. Don't see this movie. Go fuck yourself. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, what a lady, what a night. Am I right?